Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting to you live at Dipat's Laboratory at Barangay Anonas in the city of Ordaneta, the province of Pangasinan, the Republic of the Philippines. This is your host, slash racer, slash marshal, slash producer, slash director, all in one package. It's Don Patrick D. Paragular proudly bringing you once again another set of live Tamiya Mini 4 Drive Racing Action streaming on YouTube on DPAT TV Don Patrick Aguilar YouTube channel. Once again, this is your DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. Josh? Hello mga kadipat and good afternoon to all of you who are watching this live stream right now, and for those who will be watching anytime here inside Deepa's Laboratory, another set of live Tamiya Mini 4 Drive Racing Action coming at you in a few moments with yours truly, Don Patrick Deepat Aguilar, proudly bringing you all the action here on Deepat's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2 as we start up our second half of September 2025, an early start at the second half because it's only September 10. We're not yet halfway through the month, but I just want to finish this early simply because of other prior commitments. So that's why tinatapos natin ng maaga hanggang September 24 po yung ating September 2025 racing action sa DTL SMC live on DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube. Once again, please like, follow, share, subscribe to DPAT TV and close parenthesis Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube. That's my YouTube channel. And for other social media platforms, it's at DPAT Tamiya League on TikTok and DPAT's Tamiya League, An Evening with DPAT Aguilar and DPAT Aguilar on Facebook. Alright. So, before we proceed with our race day number 5 of the scheduled 9 race day months of September 2025 here on DTL SMC Season 2, we now have the quick recap. Let's do the quick recap regarding the previous race day last Monday afternoon, September 8, 2025, on the Feast of Mama Mary, sa kaarawan ng banal na Mama Mary. Yan. And our previous edition, we got Unicosmos, T-Mac, Avatari, Archer, Myrtle, Cosmo, Atomica, Stargate, and Zeta went at it in the 21 races of the single round robin. And after those 21 races, it went out to be T-Mac, Avatari, a four-way tie on top, actually, with 7 points apiece as the highest score. Alos tabla-tabla yung mga score nung apat na kalahok na pumasok sa semifinals. They all have 4 points apiece. So the quotient system was required to determine their rankings, with T-Mac, Avatari, Zeta, Cosmo Atomica, and Archer Myrtle all gaining 7 points, all gained or garnered 7 points apiece, but with different standings in wins, losses, and draws. So dinetermine natin yung number of wins, win over the other, and so on. And final rankings were T-Mac, Avatari at top seed, second seed, Zeta, Cosmo Atomica, 3rd seed, Archer Myrtle, 4th seed. And the rest is history for Unicosmos, Avatari, and Stargate ended up in 5, 6, and 7th places respectively. So maagang na po. Pero yung si Unicosmos, dahil nga po dalawa lang yung ibang bakante, so yung nakulilat ng dalawa, babalik niya si Unicosmos for the meantime. Alright. So, in the semifinals duel, it went out to be T-Mac Avatari versus Archer Myrtle in the semifinal match. And the other semifinal matchup was Zeta versus Cosmo Atomica. And it went out to be T-Mac Avatari versus Cosmo Atomica in the championship race, while Archer Myrtle and Zeta ended themselves in a race for the bronze or race for third. And in that race for third, nanalo si Zeta laban kay Archer Myrtle, and therefore cementing its holder to the aggregate scoring lead this month at on top with a total of 7 points on aggregate after adding 1 point. Prior to that, 6 points kasi siya. Pero nakapag third place, so 1 point. So 7 points total. And only a 1 point lead against Cosmo Atomica because in the championship race, T-Mac Avatari was able to beat Cosmo Atomica. Luckily beating Cosmo Atomica. Nadali lang. Na-teasered lang si Cosmo Atomica. And eventually, Team Avatar is the reigning and defending champion for today's edition, Run and Gun Wednesday edition. Ayan, si Team Avatar ang naging bagong champion natin at the end of that September 8, 2025 race day. And yun nga pa yung nangyari. So yung mga podium finishers po at the end of September 8, 2025, Team Avatari as champion, Cosmo Atomica as silver honor, and the bronze honor went to Zeta. So additional 1 point for Zeta, additional 2 points for Cosmo Atomica on aggregate, making it a total of 6, and Team Avatari making it a total of 5 on aggregate after being crowned as champion. So plus 3. So ang naging aggregate scoring result natin, Zeta still on top with 7 points, only a 1 point edge against Cosmo Atomica, and only a 2 point advantage over Team Avatar. So 7-6-5 ang nangyari. Tapos si Uni Cosmos ang pang-apat with 4 points. And Papa Roach, Ferreira, and Stargate have yet to score this month of September 2025. Si Avatar and Archer Myrtle were the other two scorers with each having a third place finish, 1 point apiece. Alright, so without further ado, it's now time for our Run and Gun Wednesday edition here on DPAT's Tamiya League Seasons of the Stock Motor Conference with yours truly, Don Patrick DPAT Aguilar, proud of bringing you all the Tamiya Mini Four Drive Racing action live on DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube. Once again, good afternoon sa lahat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to the rest of the world, of course, good day to all of you. And without further ado, let's now proceed with our elimination round for today's edition, Run and Gun Wednesday edition, that is, of DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference on its second season. So, without further ado, let's start off our race number 1. Alright, so medyo elevated po yung ating camera. It's simply because I added another box just to heighten the position of the camcorder that I'm using right now, using a Realme C2, an old Realme smartphone. So that's why it's being located like that, so as to see further, for us to be able to further see what is going on with the racetrack. All right. So without further ado, it's now time for our race number 1. Let's feature first Archer Myrtle versus Uni Cosmos to start off our Run and Gun Wednesday festivities here on DTL SMC Season 2. And in this matchup, it's going to be lane 1 for Archer Myrtle and lane 2 for Uni Cosmos, being their respective starting lanes. So that's identical with their respective color designs. Once again, Archer Myrtle starting at lane 1 or the blue lane, and Uni Cosmos will start at the red lane or lane 2. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, mga ka-DTL, mga ka-DPAT at mga ka-Tamiya at mga kababayan natin yung saan man sa panig ng daigdig. Yan. Once again, thank you so much for watching this live streaming of live Tamiya Mini Four-Wheel Drive Racing action inside DPAT, my laboratory here at our residence at Barangay Ananas in the city of Ordinera, the province of Pangasinan, the Republic of the Philippines. And without further ado, let's now proceed by the way with our Run and Gun Wednesday festivities on DTL SMC Season 2 with this race number 1. Ready, set, fight. Hit, KO. Winner. Hit. Hit, hit. Na-equal. Natanggalan ng wing. Natanggalan ng wing si Archera. Aray ko. Di bali, omit na lang natin. Ibalik na lang natin at after the race na lang ibalik. Anyway, that's an open box stock, so we may omit some spoilers right here. So okay lang po na na i-disregard muna yung wing. There was a collision course happen at the start of the race mismo. So it was a hit, making Archer Myrtle victorious over Uni Cosmos after that accidental foul, that is. So Archer Myrtle winning it, win by default. Ano yun, panalo na yun kasi hit po yung nangyari. So we declare winner. We declare Archer Myrtle here as an outright winner for that matter. So si Unicosmos ang unang lalaban kay T-Mac Avatari. Hit yon, hit. Panalo si Archera. Ayun, natanggalan pa ng ano. Di bale na na. Payaan na lang muna natin. Saka ko na lang ibalik after the live. After live na lang ko na lang ibalik. I-blue ko na lang. Alright, race number 2 will now feature the Spider versus Cockroach rivalry as Zeta will take on the comebacking Papa Roach. And in this race number 2, Battle of Insects, it's an insect taking on an arachnid. Yan, in Papa Roach and Zeta respectively. So for this matchup, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2, Papa Roach lane 1. So that's contrast to what their color design. O yung red lane kay Zeta being its starting lane, and Papa Roach will start at the blue lane, or lane 1 rather. Race number 2. Ready, set, fight. Ayan yung laban. Papa Roach with a quick start. Oh! Okay. Okay, Drogen. Drogen. Alright. Drogen. Drogen. Papa Roach, huling na, ano, kaya siya yung lalaban kay Archera. First course out, ano, tama. Hindi, tama pala. Blue. Drogen. Buti na lang, kumaripas ako dun. Zeta, first course out. Race number 3. Alright, so let's do this as quick as we can. Alright, race number 2. Let's do this as quick as we can so as to prepare for other categories. Para ma-prepare ko yung ibang mga category kagaya ng VMAX, Extra, Speed Tech. Ganyan. Alright, race number 3. Right away, we got here Cosmo Atomica taking on Ferreira. So this is expected to be another rat-ratan race, so we call it a speedy race in this race number 3, where Unicos, Cosmo Atomica rather, starting at lane 1, Ferreira at lane 2. Again, that's Cosmo Atomica rather, starting at lane 1, Ferreira starting at lane 2 in this race number 3. Ready, set, bite. Wait, okay. Feel good? Okay. Penultimate lap. Final lane danger. Feel good? On to the final lap we go. That was smooth. KO. Winner. 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 Ferreira, winner! Upset victory over Cosmo Atomica. Alright. So Zeta Cosmo maglalaban na sa ating race number 6 later on. Alright. Cosmo Atomica lost to Ferreira. Race number 4. Alright. We now proceed right away with our race number 4. Featuring 2 of my box stock entries. So this is the race between my box stock entries. Avatari taking on Unicosmos. Ito yung mga panlaban ko sa mga box category so far. Pero itong mga ano na to, dinala na ako sa duluan. Yung si T-Mac Avatari, dinala na ako ng semifinals. Ito ng mga Unicosmos, dinala ako ng quarterfinals ng leg 3 ng PNR Cup. So, shout out again to United Tamiya North Racers. Also, yan, sa TNR, ano rin, Eat and Wine Tamiya also, to Team LU, La Union, also to Deadly Sins, to The Roots, Tarlac, Pampanga, and also to who else? Nueva Ecija, of course, the Team Nueva Ecija, Team NE, Cabanatuan City. Alright, so shout out to all of you. Hopefully, makalaro ko kayo real soon. As soon as I get the chance to do so. Alright, in our race number 4, it's going to be T-Mac Avatari starting at lane 2, Unicosmos at lane 1. Again, that's Unicosmos starting at lane 1 and Tamiya Avatar starting at lane 2. Race number 4. That's contrast to what your respective color designs are. As we have here. Ready, set, fight. Good. Winner. Unicosmos. Hindi ko na nabutan. Mahina na yung reflexes ko eh. Mahina na reflexes ng lolo nyo. Mabagal na yung reflexes ng lolo nyo eh. Kaya na. Hit. Hit. Na sumabit siya 3-second violation kay Tamiya Avatar and Unicosmos was crossing that line. Yan. So it's going to be Unicosmos emerging victorious over Tamiya Avatar settling an old score. Alright. So Tamiya Avatar will await either of the for the next waiting for the next assignment. That is Tamiya Unicosmos won by hit. Second hit na yon actually. Second hit. Sa mga bet, biglang biglang nag-nitro boost eh. Biglang nitro boost eh. Pero ibang klase, Unicosmos, hindi man lang talagang pa eh. Talagang niratrat pa eh. Alright, I'll sip a little. I'll just sip a little root beer with me. Alright, race number 5. It's now time for race number 5. As Archer Myrtle takes on Paparot. Without a wing, Archer Myrtle now have now wingless. No more spoiler. So let's see kung magpapatuloy yung mga yung na yan. Kung is this a blessing in disguise or is just another curse. So let's see about that. In our race number 5, where Archer Myrtle will start at lane 1, Papa Roach will start at lane 2. So that's identical with their respective color designs. The red lane or lane 2 for Papa Roach and the blue lane or lane 1 for Archer Myrtle as their respective starting lanes in this race number 5. Ready, set, light. Paparas with a good start. Impact. Force up. Stay good. Penultimate lap. Final lap. Okay, winner. Okay, win. Archer Myrtle winner. So, on that point, it was a blessing in disguise without a wing. Archer Myrtle with its wing discarded. Go sir. Go sir, Papa Roach. PR 2 AM. Archer Myrtle. Archer 1. 2-0. Archer Myrtle having a good start so far for our Run and Gun Wednesday edition. Alright, race number 6 right away. It's going to be Cosmo Atomica taking on Zeta. So that's rematch of the previous final. And in this race number 6, it's going to be Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 1. Zeta, no, lane 2 rather. Okay. So, lane 1 kanina, alternate starting lane nga pala tayo. Alright. For our race number 6, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2. For the red lane, the blue lane or lane 1, that's the starting lane of Zeta. Once again, Zeta at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica at lane 2, as the respective starting lanes in this race number 6. Ready, set, bye. People. Natin parehas. Oy! Good. Matapit. Penultimate lap. Final lap. That's good. Okay. Winner. Zeta, winner. Alright. What a smooth run indeed by Zeta right there. So, winner. Zeta won over Cosmo. Cosmo coursed out. That's why it was beaten. Alright. Another pairing of front motor battle. Motor race again in our race number 7 as Unicosmos takes on Ferreira. The new backstock taking on the old backstock in our race number 7. It's the Cosmosonic Unicosmos taking on the Bracken champion Ferreira. And in this matchup, it's going to be Unicosmos starting at lane 1, Ferreira at lane 2. Again, that's going to be Unicosmos rather starting at lane 1, and Ferreira will start at lane 2 in this race number 7. Ready, set, bye. Embang. Drogen. Biglang hataw. Biglang humataw. Biglang nag-full throttle yung mga auto natin, mga kadipat, mga ka-detail, mga ka-Tamiya. Holy smoke. What a blazing start. That was indeed a blazing start right there, ladies and gentlemen. But unfortunately, it ended in a draw. That was just too much juice. Too fast for its own good. Draw game. First course out. Sino yung first course out? Pereira, di ba? O, tama. Cosmo, Ferreira, tapos na. O, yun. Si Unicosmos ng lalabanan niya. Winner na. Loser ngayon ang aantay ni Ferreira. Winner yon eh. Mag-aantay yan ano. First course out, wait. First course out, Unicosmos. Tapos biglang naghataw, aray ko po. Aray ko po. Excuse me. Race number 8. Alright, it's now time for our race number 8. As Team McAvatari will take on Papa Roach. So it's Battle of Limited Edition Series once more in our race number 8. The limited edition Era Avante T-Mac 2024 Special taking on the Clear Orange Special Slash Reaper. Another limited edition car kit produced by Tamiya some years ago. Unfortunately, mahal na, libo na. Ang mga rare item na sila. Hard to find na po sila ngayon dahil nga sa kawalan ng supply. Hindi na ma-meet yung demand ng ibang mga Kung kung meron man, super mahal na. Baka yung iba, baka mag 2,000 na. Baka next year, 2,000 na siguro to, o 3,000. Alright, in our race number 8, it's going to be T-Mac Avatari starting at lane 2, Papa Roach at lane 1. So that's contrast to what their respective color designs are. At the red lane or lane 2, that's going to be T-Mac Avatari starting at it. And Papa Roach will start at the blue lane or lane 1 in this race number 8. Ready, set, bye. Hinabol. Hinamilin. Okay, embang. Final lane changer. Okay, final lap. Let's see. Medyo napisod pa. Ay, okay. Sayang. Doon lang nadali sa may DG straight. Sumabit na sa DG straight. Sayang. Draw game. Draw game. Pero at least si T-Mac Avatari nakabuhay pa. Tumakbo pa. Loser. Loser yan. Papa Roach Pereira, tama yan. Yun yung susunod. Blue. TA at saka PR. Draw, pero si Papa Roach ang unang umimbang. Again, I'll take a bite and sit. Race number 9. It's the race between the rotating switch, between two racing cars with rotating switches for our race number 9. We got here Zeta taking on Archer Amerto. So that's the rematch from the previous race for third in our race number 9. And I'll just sit for a little while here at the starting area for our race number 9 because these cars have rotating switches, Super 2 and M8. And for this race number 9, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 1, right here. And at lane 2, it's going to be Archer Amerto starting at it. Again, Zeta starting at lane 1, Archer Amerto starting at lane 2 in this race number 9. Ready, set, bye. Habol mo! Ay, lang. Okay. Pinagasaan na, aray 2. Last 2, pero red lap. Final lap. Grabe lang eh. Winner. Suwabe! That was just a smooth run and a smooth finish for Zeta, emerging victorious over Archer Amerto. Zeta prevailing in that rematch. Winner! Dito na yan. Si Tima Kabatari na yung lalabanan niya after Zeta won. Winner, loser, nabaliktad yung sitwasyon eh. Ay, sorry. 5 points, Zeta. May 5 points na. It's the race between the twin Cosmosonics for our race number 10. As Cosmo Atomica takes on Unicosmos. So, Cosmosonics going at it for our race number 10. And in this matchup, it's going to be Unicosmos starting at lane 1. Cosmo Atomica at lane 2. Again, that's going to be Unicosmos starting at lane 1. And Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2 in this race number 10. Ready, set, bye. Grabe naman yung talon nun. Grabe naman. Oh, bilis mo. Talsis talaga yun. Talsis yun. Ang bilis eh. Penultimate lap, final lane changer. That's good. That's a smooth. Final lap. Cosmo Atomica emerging victorious against its fellow Cosmosonic Unicosmos. Alright, so that's loser. Up. Unicosmos done already with Cosmo Atomica, so therefore, winner. Antay ni Unicosmos, loser. No, loser nung kabila. Hindi, si Papa Roach nang hihintay niya after. Natapos na siya kay Pereira kaya. Okay. Won. Tama. Cosmo won. Malakas masyado yung baterya ko eh. Yari. Malakas yung baterya, baby. Kaya nga sabi ko, grabe naman yun. Alright, race number 11. Right away, we got here Papa Roach taking on Ferreira. Yung mga kulelat. Yung mga nagbabalik na mga kulelat. Yung maglaban sa ating race number 11. And for this matchup, it's going to be Papa Roach starting at lane 1, Ferreira starting at lane 2. Again, that's Papa Roach starting at lane 1 or the blue lane. Pereira will be starting at the red lane or lane 2 in this race number 11. Ready, set, ba. Diyan ang laban ko. Woohoo! Good. Ay, yun lang. That's still good. That's okay. Penultimate lap. Final lap. Ayun lang. Okay, sayang. Final lap na sana. Uwi na sana. Bigla pang nadali. Bogoy! Pa-maintain din lang talaga easy niya. Draw game. O yun nga, loser. Tama yan. Ano? Winner na yun. Winner. First call sa Pereira pala. Draw game. Papa Roach Pereira ended in a draw with Pereira coursing out first. Alright. Race number 12 right away. Alright. We got here race number 12. Team Avatari taking on Zeta. Alright. It's Avatari versus Zeta. So that's AR versus Super 2 in our race number 12. And for this matchup, it's going to be Team Avatari starting at lane 2. Zeta at lane 1. Again, that's Team Avatari starting at lane 2. And Zeta starting at lane 1 in this race number 12. Ready, set, bye. Okay. Embang, okay, login. Embang din yung isa. Bumitin. Bumitin sa talon eh. Draw game. Nabitin tuloy tayo. Nabitin tuloy yung ano eh. Yung jump eh. Epic comeback sana. Biglang boink. Ano to? Ano ba yung nandun? Winner, loser. Zeta yung unang on-course shot. Kaya siya yung unang lalaman ng karera. Yun. Tama yan. Okay. Draw. Zeta Team Avatari draw with Zeta coursing out first. After a couple of seconds, si T-Mac naman ang nagano, imbang. Remaining assignments for Zeta, Unicosmos, and Ferreira. So, tama ito. Okay, so sip again. After every 4 races, kitcha. Or kitcha liya muna tayo. Baka sabay lagok ng root beer. Yum. Come back. Alright. Race number 13. Okay. We'll now proceed right away with our race number 13 as Cosmo Atomica will take on Archera Myrtle. Alright. Archera Myrtle taking on Cosmo Atomica for our race number 13, wherein Cosmo Atomica will start at lane 1. Archera Myrtle starting at lane 2 once again. That's contrast to what their respective color designs are. The red lane or lane 2, that's the starting lane of Archera Myrtle. Whereas Cosmo Atomica will start at the blue lane or lane 1. Race number 13. Ready, hit, bye. Habol. Nakitod. Pune. Archera Myrtle ahead. Natulog lang eh. Penultimate lap, final lane changer coming up. That was just smooth. Under the final lap we go. That was just smooth. Okay, winner. Winner. Nabitin. Nabitin si Cosmo Atomica ng talon. Ayun. Nagkamali tuloy ng tansya. Archera Myrtle winner. Alright. Shout out also as well. Of course, I'll shout out to my ultimate crush and my ultimate love of my life, Myrtle Sarosa. Of course, see you in Baguio on next month. Of course, October 5 pupunta po siya ng Baguio. So, of course, it's another road trip. Another long and winding road ahead coming up for Masked Rider D-Pat. Alright. Rider! Rider! Kek! Archera 1. Ano yung last kanina? Si Zeta, loser, winner. Ayun. Tama, Archera, winner yan eh. Hindi pa niya nakalaban si ano, Tima Kabatari. Tama. Winner. Winner yon. Winner. Cosmo lost to Archera. Bumitin. Hindi, tsaka ano, bago pa siya na course out, talagang talo na talaga eh. Talo na talaga. Obvious na eh. Obvious ng sinong Yamato eh. That was just an obvious reason to declare Archera Myrtle winner, victorious. So, Team Avatari and Ferreira being the remaining assignments of Archera Myrtle for the single round robin today. Alright. Race number 14. Okay, that's race number 14. Unicosmos versus Paparoch is the matchup for our race number 14. So that's penultimate for both cars in our race number 14. And for this matchup, it's going to be Unicosmos starting at lane 2, Paparoch lane 1. Again, Unicosmos starting at lane 2, Paparoch will start at lane 1. Alright, race number 14. Ready, set, bye. Pasa! Pugarabong ng iyong bang deng 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 deng. Ibang klase yung takbo ni Paparoch. Yun lang. Rolling. Bitin yung Magnum Tornado. Bitin yung Magnum Tornado eh. Dapat pala nag-Magnum Tornado na lang doon sa kabila. Dapat pala nag-Magnum Tornado yun eh. Bitin. Bitin yung Magnum Tornado. Up. Cosmo Paparoch. Ano ba yun? Tapos na ba yun? Hindi pa. O, yun yung last ni Paparoch. Si Unicosmos, ang last niya ay si Zeta. Okay. Pare na palang last assignments. Draw game. Draw. Pero sino yung unang kumorse out? Unicosmos. Draw. First CO, Unicosmos. Last assignment for Paparoch, Cosmo Atomica. Final assignment for Unicosmos, Zeta. Alright. Race number 15. Alright. It's now time for our race number 15 as Zeta, the big spider, takes on the Bracken Gigant Ferreira. So that's the race between the Let's and Go villains. Maxukitai Let's and Go villains. Yung anime na yun na nagpasimula ng Tamiya Mini 4 World Rep Race here in the Philippines. And for this race number 15, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 1, Ferreira starting at lane 2. Again, that's Zeta starting at the blue lane or lane 1, and Ferreira will start on its respective starting lane, the same as its color design, at the red lane or lane 2. Race number 15. Ready, set, fight. Maganda to. Okay, winner. Zeta winner. Nilundagan. Talagang literal na nilundagan. Chokoink! Chokoink! Did you see that coming, mga kadipat? Ang nangyari talaga doon, gumanito siya. Oh. Nung nag-jump yung Pereira, ganito po yung nangyari. Literal na patong. Poink! Buti na lang, hindi distraction derby yung nangyari. But nevertheless, that was a hit. And it's going to be Zeta emerging victorious over Pereira. Alright. So, parang yung nangyari, yung Bracken Gigant, di ba, pag tumalon na gano'n, tapos dadaganan niya yung, di ba, yung kalabang kotse. Ganon yung ginagawa ng Bracken Gigant sa Let's and Go, eh. If you remember, as far as I can remember, yun yung, yung talagang tactic, yung antics talaga ng Bracken Gigant doon sa anime na yun. Pinalabas din naman sa GMA7, dubbed in English. Alright. Of course, shout out to GMA7, of course. Kung saan nga po kung saan nga ngayon na nag-artista si Myrtle Sarosa, of course. Once again to Myrtle Sarosa, I love you so much, always forever. My dream Mrs. Aguilar, forever. Walang magbabago dyan. Alright, so last assignment for Zeta will be against Unicosmos. That's race number 18. That's going to be race number 18. Hit ulit. Zeta Pereira hit. Zeta hit. Pereira, meron pang dalawang assignment. Timac Avatari at Archera Myrtle. So, ano itong si Zeta? Winner o loser? Ang hintay ni Pereira dito, loser. Loser nung dalawa, yung race 16. Tawag dito. Los kay Pereira. L. Red mark. Si Zeta green. So far, Zeta has no red mark yet. Has yet to be scarred. Has yet to be scarred with a red mark. Itong si Zeta, unblemished pa. Wala pang pula. Alright. Race number 16. Okay. So it's now time for our race number 16 as Timac Avatari takes on Archera Myrtle. So it's another race between the limited edition car kits, the Timac Era Avante Timac 2024 Special taking on the Blast Arrow Aluminum Metallic here in our race number 16, wherein Timac Avatari will start at lane 2, Archera Myrtle starting at lane 1. Again, that's Archera Myrtle at the blue lane or lane 1, and Timac Avatari at the red lane or lane 2B, the respective starting lanes in this race number 16. Ready, set, bye. Magandang habulan yan. Ay, yun lang. Okay, Robin. What happened there? Na-switch off. Biglang na-switch off, yung isa naman nabitin. So, it's just inconclusive. So, inconclusive yung ano na yan. Sabay kasi sila eh. Inconclusive yun, mahirap pa subalihan kung sino yung unang umimbang o unang humirik o ganyan. Yung si halos sabay kasi sila. So, sabay kasi sila eh, mahirap i-determine. We don't have the benefit of the replay, so we have to restart. Ready, set, bye. Natisod. Yun na, bitin. Almost. Sabay ulit. Sabay. Wala, sabay. Hindi, sabay. Inconclusive pa rin. Sabay yun, sabay. Ulit. Ready, set, try. Sabay sila. Ayun. That's one. Ulitin. Ulitin. Last two. Sabay kasi silang umimba kaya inulit natin. Ayun lang. So, ayun na convincing. Ayan ang convincing. At least yung may na-determine kung sino yung unang umimbang. Ayan ang convincing draw. So, yung unang umimbang ang lalaban kay Pereira. Na last dalawa pala. One of the remaining assignments, the other being Archera Myrtle. So, for that matter, it's a draw between Timac Avatari and Archera Myrtle. But Timac Avatari coursed out first. On the brink of elimination ito, si Timac Avatari. Last assignment for Archera Myrtle Ferreira. Okay. Race number 16 na yun. 17 next. Okay, race number 17. Let's proceed right away with our race number 17 as Cosmo Atomica takes on Papa Roach. So it's the Battle of Agent Oranges in our race number 17. Mga Agent Orange ang magkalaban sa ating race number 17, wherein Cosmo Atomica will start at lane 1, Papa Roach lane 2. Again, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 1, Papa Roach starting at lane 2 in this race number 17. Ready, set, Bye. Huwag mo ito or sa first. Kung draw ito, yun yung mangyayari. Penultimate lap, final game changer. Let's see. Still good. Final lap. Okay. Papa Roach, winner over Cosmo Atomica. Alright. So that's it for Papa Roach. Cosmo, I think that's it. I think that's it. Yun na siguro yun. Oh, last assignment na yata nila. Not yet. Cosmo Atomica still has T-Mac Avatari. But Papa Roach, it's done. Papa Roach done with the single round robin for today's run and gun Wednesday action here on DTL SMC Season 2. And unfortunately, Papa Roach ending it with a win actually. So that was a sweet ending. How sweet that ending was for Papa Roach to cap off its single round robin campaign today. Cosmo Atomica, Corsat, Natulumi. 4, talo ni Cosmo. Alright, meron pa siyang isang huling laban yon kay T-Mac Avatari. I-forward ko na siya dito mamaya. Si Zeta at si Unicosmos, last na nila pareho. Okay. Race number 18 right away. It's going to be Zeta taking on Unicosmos. Magandang laban. Panigurado, basta magtino lang si Unicosmos, yun. No problem sana. Alright. For our race number 18, Zeta taking on Unicosmos. And for this matchup, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2, Unicosmos starting at lane 1. Once again, that's lane 2 for Zeta. And lane 1 for Unicosmos as their respective starting lanes for this race number 18. Ready, set, bye. Good. Oh! Zeta winner! Takoy! Tagoy! Tagoy! Distraction derby! Umeko pa talaga. Zeta prevailing over Unicosmos. So unfortunately for Unicosmos, ending it this up with loss, ending it with a loss against Zeta. Another hit, so tatlong hit para kay Unicosmos. Both Zeta and Unicosmos done for today's round robin, for today's single round robin, that is. Okay, so Unicosmos lost to Zeta. Zeta won. Zeta will end up the elimination round without any red mark. That's a good sign for Zeta. Ilan na yun? 4, 8. 4. 4 na pala. Race number 19. Ayon, yung last na assignment, yung ayun lang. Yun ang magiging problema natin. Yan ang isang problema natin. May magba-back to back. Ay, hindi, magba-back to back si may isa sa kanila magba-back to back. Isa sa kanila magba-back to back. Si, si T-Mac Avatari, pwedeng si T-Mac Avatari, pwedeng si si Pereira. Dapat pala inuna natin yon yung race number 18, yun sana. May magba-back to back dito. So last 2 kay T-Mac Avatari, pwedeng yun ang last 2. Yung lang last 2, pwedeng mag-back to back si Pereira muna, tapos mag-back to back si T-Mac Avatari sa last 2. Yun na lang ang gawin natin. Okay. So yun, magano muna sila. Mauna muna yung T-Mac versus Archera. Archera versus pala muna? Pereira. Tapos yung championship rematch, tapos Team Abatari will face Pereira. O yun, ganun ang gagawin natin. Okay, race number 19, right away, we now have here Archer Myrtle facing Ferreira. So it's Blast Arrow versus Bracken Gigant rivalry in our race number 19. And in this matchup, it's going to be Archer Myrtle starting at lane 1, Ferreira at lane 2. So that's identical with the respective color designs. The red lane or lane 2, that's the starting lane of Ferreira. And Archer Myrtle will start at the blue lane or lane 1. Race number 19. Ready, set, bye. Good. Okay. Good. Penultimate lap, final lane changer. Still good. Final lap. Let's see. Okay. Winner. Winner Pereira. Alright. Swerte. Swerte hindi umembang. Swerte hindi umembang sa sobrang bilis. Pereira was just red hot against Archer Myrtle, therefore giving Pereira the victory over Archer Myrtle. Pereira was just too hot to handle. Wow. Grabe. So Archer Myrtle is out. Archer Myrtle will be done for today's Run and Gun Wednesday's round robin. Alright. Archeralos to Ferreira. Ayun. Tapos, Ferreira won. Tapos may isa pang laban. Tapos back to back si Team Abatari. Okay, so dito na yan. The penultimate race, also the last two races of the elimination round for today's Run and Gun Wednesday edition, mga kadipat, mga kadetail at mga katamiya, will involve Team Abatari. So the first of two for Team Abatari, the first of two remaining assignments will be its championship race rematch against Cosmo Atomica. And for this race number 20, it's going to be Team Abatari starting at lane 2. Cosmo Atomica lane 1. Again, Team Abatari starting at lane 2 on the red lane, and Cosmo Atomica will start at the blue lane or lane 1. So that's contrast to what their respective color designs are. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here is our 20th and penultimate race of the single round robin, this Run and Gun Wednesday edition involving the first of two involving Team Abatari. Ready, set, bye. Cosmo Atomica with a quick start. Very good. Oh, nahabol na. Natitod. One lang. Let's see at the final lane changes for Team Abatari. Still smooth. On to the final lap we go. Winner. Agawan sa panalo to mamaya, yung race 21. Ang ganda nito. So it's going to be Team Abatari emerging, prevailing actually over Cosmo Atomica. So Cosmo Atomica was unable to settle a score, to even up the score against Team Abatari on that previous championship race rematch. And yun na rin, si Team Abatari babalik for the 21st and final race of the elimination round facing Ferreira. Yun na po yung last match natin. So agawan ngayon sa panalo si Ferreira at si Team Abatari to close out the elimination round. Maganda to. Gandang laban to. For our race number 21, it's a battle of blue and red once again. In this 21st and final race of the single round robin, this Run and Gun Wednesday edition of DTL SMC Season 2. And for this race number 21, it's going to be Team Abatari starting at its respective color design, which is the blue lane or lane 1. And Ferreira will start at the red lane or lane 2. Once again, that's Team Abatari starting at lane 1 and Ferreira starting at lane 2 to wrap up elimination round with this 21st and final race of the single round robin, this Run and Gun Wednesday edition. Ready, set, bye. Ready na with the quick start. Ay, lang. Grabe. Penultimate lap, final maintain here. Still good. On to the final lap. Unfortunately, unable to come back. Pereira was unable to recover. Therefore, it ended in a draw. With Team Avatari coursing out first. Alright. Natisod lang, sayang, uwi na sana yun eh. That was close of winning the match. Both Team Avatari and Pereira ended in a draw to wrap up the 21 races of the single round robin, this Run and Gun Wednesday edition. Alright, mga kadipat, mga kaditial, at mga katamiya, ladies and gentlemen. So, that goes our 21 races in the single round robin. So, Di Patagalar will just finalize and tabulate and finalizing the we'll be tabulating and finalizing the final forecast. So, when we return, lalaman na po natin sino yung papasok sa Final Four o semifinals po natin, to be followed right away with the knockout stage races, a couple of semifinals races, race for third and championship race. All these and more of live Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing action right here on DTL SMC Season 2 when we return. So don't go away. Once again, this is DTL SMC on DPAT TV. Alright mga kadipat, once again, Don Patrick D. Aguilar here for DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar YouTube channel, live streaming DPAT's Tamiya League Season 2 of the Stock Motor Conference as we get ourselves back to the ball game, as we get ourselves back to the race day number 5 of the scheduled 9 race day months of September 2025 on the track layout that you're seeing right now. And at the end of the 21 races of the elimination round, we officially now have the scorecard. We now have the official scorecard right here, so I'll just dictate it. Okay, I'll just read it aloud. All right. So at the end of the 21 races in the single round robin, we have Zeta rising to the top. Zeta ending on top of the car standings with 4 wins and 2 draws without any red mark. May draw man siya, kaya lang siyang unang umimbang. Pero si Zeta ang nanguna, the only car in the all figures in terms of points with 10. 4 wins, 2 draws. That's a total of 10 points as the top seeded car going to the final 4. Followed by both Pereira and Archera Myrtle's 7-point output, ending themselves with 7 points apiece. But due to the win over the other rule, Pereira was able to beat Archera Myrtle without any course out. Hindi man lang umiimbang, kung kaya naman si Pereira ngayon ang malalagay sa number 2 seed while Archera Myrtle will be relegated to number 3 seed. So third seeded car si Archera, second seeded car naman si Ferreira due to the win over the other rule. Despite ending with the score of 7 points apiece. And at the fourth slot, the fourth and final semifinals tickets ay pinag-agawan naman ni Timac Avatari at Papa Roach. They both have 1 win, 4 draws, and 1 loss. 1 win, 1 loss, 4 draws. But they both end one of the 4 draws involving both of them. And unfortunately, Papa Roach was the one who coursed out first. Papa Roach coursed out first in their race with Timac Avatari. So therefore, it's going to be Timac Avatari entering that it will be the last car to enter the semifinals round for today's Run and Gun Wednesday edition. So it's still alive. The defending champion is still alive in our semifinals round later on. Alright, so unfortunately, the twin Cosmosonics and Papa Roach will be booted out early. Papa Roach ended it up with only 6 points. Yun nga, yung 6 points. Siya ngayon nadali dun sa tiebreaker. At saka para maiwasan na natin yung mga tiebreaker races para mabilis po tayo matapos. Kaya meron tayong first course out rule. Ngayon, pag in case na nagkatabla-tabla talaga silang dalawa, kung sino yung maliban na lang kung marami silang tabla. Unless maraming tabla, kung talagang kailangan ng tiebreaker, wala tayong magagawa. Talagang mag-tiebreaker tayo. Pero on that note, dahil dalawa lang, madali lang. Madali. Kasi sino na lang yung unang umimbang. Ganun. Kung tabla sila, sa win over the other, tabla sila. Pareho sila ng number of wins, losses, draws. Di kung sino na lang yung umimbang na una, yun ang tanggal. Ganon. Kaya si Papa Roach yung natanggal. Then si Unicosmos, number 6 with only 4 points. And unfortunately, Cosmo Atomica was dead last at the end of the elimination round. Registered only 1 win. So, the semifinals cast is set with Zeta as the top seed, Ferreira as the second seed, Archera Myrtle as the third seed, and Timac Avatari, the defending champion so far, still alive as the fourth seed in the semifinals round. So without further ado, it's now time for our semifinals races. First up, we have the 1 versus 4 matchup right away to start off our knockout stage with our semifinals number 1 featuring Zeta taking on Timac Avatari. Alright. So it's going to be Zeta versus Timac Avatari to start off the knockout stage festivities here in our semifinals round. And in this matchup, it's going to be Timac Avatari starting at lane 1. Yup, lane 1, then lane 2 for Zeta. Again, that's Zeta starting at lane 2, Timac Avatari starting at lane 1. Yo, nice na. Buti na lang, hindi na nag-tiebreaker. Kaya madali na. Yan. Ayan, talagang inalog na. Alright mga kadipat, mga kaditil at mga Tamiya, ladies and gentlemen, Don Patrick T. Palagila here once again, giving you more about Tamiya Mini 4-wheeler racing action live streaming on YouTube channel DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar. And once again, we are now in our knockout stage of our Run and Gun Wednesday action here on DTL SMC Season 2. So without further ado, let's now proceed right away with our semifinals. Number 1. Ready, set, bye. Ay, sumabot. Penultimate lap. Final lap. Matreno pa rin. Tingnan. Bad decision. We will now have a new champion. Alright? So we'll now have a new champion. O, teka muna, tanggalin ko lang muna itong pasagabal. Yan. Here, toing. Alright. So unfortunately, the erstwhile champion Team Avatari was booted out in the semifinals round. So we will now have a new champion with Zeta outclassing Zeta able to outclass Team Avatari. So therefore, Team Avatari will be relegated to race for third. Zeta will have the opportunity to cement further its lead. So para dagdagan pa yung lamang sa mga humahabol at sa ating sa aggregate scoring this month. Alright, semifinals number 2 right away. Okay. Nahilo ng inyong lolo. Nahilo ng lolo nyo. Alright, semifinals number 2 right away will now feature Pereira, the second seeded car, going up against the third seeded car, Archer Myrtle. So rivals with rivalry continues between the Black and Giant and the Blast Arrow in our semifinals number 2, wherein Pereira will start at lane 1 and Archer Myrtle starting at lane 2. So that contrast, that's opposing their that's opposed to their respective color designs. It's going to be the red lane or lane 2 for Archer Myrtle and lane 1 or the blue lane for Pereira, being their respective lanes in this match. Alright. Ay, pwede pa pala mag-dragon shirt. CFM pala to. Tara, halugin ko rin isa. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, mga kagipat, mga kaditial at mga katamiya, and all of our kapabayans across the globe, here now is our semifinals number 2. Ready, set, bye. Okay. Grabe, pasubsub yung talon eh. Lato. Final lap. Ay, re-race. Na-switch. Na-switch yun, na-switch. Biglang na-switch. Re-race last man. Re-race last man. Dito na nga lang ako kung anong dumi. Mariosip. Ayun. Kaya ngayon, okay na sana eh. Umitintay. Nyamatan. Nyamatan. Lumihan ko, linisan ko na nga lang linisan. Ano ba yun? Ay, ako. Talagang sineryoso na eh. Talagang sineryoso na eh. No? Alright, So, restart na po tayo sa ating semifinals number 2. The last car standing will be applied here to determine the winner and the opponent of Zeta. The winner will be the opponent of Zeta in the championship race. Ready, set, bye. Okay, winner. Winner. Wala talaga. Wala talaga. Doon talaga siya nadadali eh. Dito sa ano. Wala talaga. Wala talaga. Wala talaga. Nadali eh. Wala tayong magagawa. Wala tayong magagawa dyan. Tapos biglang may sasagot. Wala po akong kinalaman dyan, Your Honor. Sabay ka. Eric, sabay nagpatawang inyong lingkod. Just to lighten up the mood, you know. Kidding aside, I'm just lightening up the mood for you, guys and gals. All right. So it's going to be Zeta versus Ferreira in the championship race for today's Run and Gun Wednesday action here on DTL SMC Season 2. So it's Big Spider. So it's the race between the Let's End Go villains in our championship race right after this race for the bronze in just a little more, in just a little while. All right. So I just have to sit first. Naging masyadong madaldal inyong lingkod, ano? Eh, dapat lang kasi hosting nga tayo. Eh, siyempre, nagbablog po tayo. Natural lang yun. Kailangan nating mag-provide ng knowledge as much as possible, as much as he can. Alright? So, in the meantime, wait a minute. Officials time up po muna tayo. We'll get a little lull in the action. We just have to reinstall this one, this carton, this cardboard, there it is. I just have to put this one first. Yep. Alright. So there you go. I think we'll be okay now. Okay. Hopefully this works. Alright, we now proceed right away with our race for third, mga ka-dipat, ladies and gentlemen. Here na sa race for third, which will feature Archera Myrtle, the third-seeded car, taking on the fourth-seeded car, the erstwhile champion, Timak Avare, dethroned by Zeta in the semifinals round. And for this matchup, it's going to be Archera Myrtle starting at lane, lane 2. Yes, so lane 2. Archera Myrtle starting at lane 2, Timak Avare at lane 1. Again, Timak Avare starting at lane 1. Timak Avare starting at lane 1, Archera Myrtle starting at lane 2. I think that's not here enough. Pwede na. I think looks good. For now. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, mga ka-dipat, mga ka-DTL at mga ka-Tamiya and all the Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing fans across the globe. Here now is our race for third, or race for the bronze for our Run and Gun Wednesday edition here on DTL SMC Season 2 this September ending 2025. First, to make 6 laps. Ready, hit, bye! Oh, patay! Patay! Okay. Penultimate lap. Unfortunate. Re-race. Malas. Re-race pa. Aray ko. Re-race last man. Re-race last man. Hindi ko na ano to. Hindi ko na dudumihan parehas. Ako. Nadadali. Nadadali. Ay, tinising ko ano. Ito naman na medyo dumihan ko ng konti. Ito naman na dumihan ko ng konti. Oh. Ito rin. adjustment. Adjustment time. Alright. Time now for our re-race in the race for the bronze with the last car standing concept applied to determine the winner. Ready, set, bye. Okay, winner. That's it. 1 point. Additional 1 point. Yung ano to? Baka hindi na makasali si Archie Lamerta sa susunod. Sa October. Possible. Possible. Naka, may problema na po tayo kay Archie Lamerta talaga. Naka po. Nadadali na eh, oh. Aray ko. Alright. So at the end of that race for third, unfortunately, Archera Myrtle was the first one to course out. Therefore, making T-Mac Avatari the winner in our race for the bronze. So still, T-Mac Avatari will still have the consolation point. We can still add 1 consolation point in its aggregate score for this month. Alright. So okay pa rin. At least podium pa. Buhay na buhay pa. Medyo malakas-lakas na nga yung baterya niya sa lagay na yun eh. Buti na nga lang, nakaano pa. Sumasabit lang eh, sayang. Ang ganda na sana. Pero yan talaga yung ano ko, yung pambato kong laban eh. Panlaban talaga yung mga backstock. One of the most meta. So let's just say, one of the meta cars when it comes to backstock racing. Itong Aero Avante Asia Challenge 2024 Special. Okay, yung 95655. The item number of that car kit is 95655. So it's 1,500 pesos in the Philippines. That costs it has a price of 1,500 in Philippine peso. 1,500 Philippine peso. Philippine pesos niya. 1,500. Ganun na po siya kamahal kasi rare item na nga lang. Alright, so let's proceed right away with our championship race, the much-awaited championship race between the top-seeded car Zeta and the second-seeded car Ferreira. So the top 2 finishers in the single round robin will go at it, and the traditional match in the championship race, the top 2 going at it in our championship race, wherein Zeta will start at lane 1. And Ferreira will start at its color design, which is red. The red lane or lane 2. Again, at the red lane or lane 2, it's going to be Ferreira. And it's going to be Zeta at the blue lane or lane 1 as their respective starting lanes in this matchup. Pwede tayong mag-flagon split ngayon. Rat-rat kung rat-rat. Ito na yung iniintay nating magratratan kung dalawang to. Dalawang Let's End Go villains, the Big Spider and the Bracken Giant going at it. So we expect a dog fight here. So we expect here, of course, Don Patrick Di Paraga expecting a good dog fight in this championship race. So hopefully, yun yung mangyari. So let's see. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, mga ka-dipak, mga ka-DTL at mga kapamiyan, and all of our kababayans across the globe. Here, let's brace ourselves now for our much-awaited championship race to culminate our festivities in our Ren and Gun Wednesday edition here on DTL SMC Season 2. First, to make 6 laps. Ready, set, bye! Oh my God! Good! Oh! Pero ulit lang. Final engager. Still good. At the final lap we go. Let's see. Oh my God, that was smooth. What a finish. Oh my God. What a finish and what a way to culminate our Run and Gun Wednesday action here on DTL SMC Season 2. With that upset victory at the championship race against Zeta, Ferreira has finally done it. Ferreira with its first championship in DTL history. Holy smoke! Yun yung mga commentator. Ganun dapat yung commentator dyan eh. Ha? Wow, what a way to close out. That was a crazy ending in our Run and Gun Wednesday edition here tonight here on DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2 with Ferreira garnering, being crowned the new champion for today's edition on DCL SMC Season 2 this September 10, 2025, defeating none else, none other than Zeta. Actually, Zeta, who is still leading at the aggregate scoring standing this month of September 2025 after 5 race days. Zeta still on top with 9 points total, and Ferreira with its first 3 points in DTL history, first championship niya as box stock. Open box stock, that is. Holy smoke. Wow! Ang ganda ng speed and stability na pinakita rin. What burst of speed and stability shown right there by Ferreira to close out this Run and Gun Wednesday edition with a championship. Wow! Alright, so mga kadipat, I'm just running out of words how to describe how crazy it was, to describe how crazy the ending was. But of course, we have to, let's do the quick recap before we close this out. Okay, so let's do the quick recap of today's Run and Gun Wednesday action. We got T-Mac Avatari, Cosmo Atomica, Zeta, Archera Myrtle, Unicosmos, Paparoch, and Ferreira went at it in our 21 races in the single round robin. So after those 21 races, the final four cast were Zeta, Ferreira, Archera Myrtle, and T-Mac Avatari entered the final 4 rounds. The knockout rounds after those 21 races. In the semifinals matchup, Zeta was able to beat T-Mac Avatari in the last car standing concept. And Archera Myrtle was beaten by Ferreira once again in the last car standing as well. Alright, so yun yung mga nangyari. Ang naging matchup natin sa race for third, Archera Myrtle versus T-Mac Avatari. Again, ended in the last car standing with T-Mac Avatari emerging victorious over Archera Myrtle, and additional 1 aggregate point on its total this month. And the much-awaited championship race was between Zeta and Ferreira, top two finishers, and it was a major upset done by Ferreira over Zeta in that 6-lap race. And yun nga, si Zeta nag-course out, pero si Ferreira nagtuloy-tuloy hanggang 6 laps without getting coursed out, without getting booted out of the tracks. Holy smoke, without any course out, without a course out. Wow, what speed and stability displayed right there by Ferreira to cap up this Run and Gun Wednesday edition here on DCL SMC with its first ever championship in DCL history. Ferreira as the champion, as an open box stock Super FM chassis car, and also originally kasi FMA siya. Pero pero dahil yung FMA niya nasira, original chassis nasira, nilipat ko ngayon sa Super FM. So yun, yung binagbasehan ko lang doon kung ano yung setup niya sa box stock, yun yung ginawa ko. Ganun lang. So that's why it is sporting small diameter Super 1 wheels with its OG wheels. Actually, yung talagang OG na Bracken G. Yung original na Bracken G talaga ang nakikita natin. Alright, so the podium finishers at the end of this Run and Gun Wednesday edition. We got Ferreira as the newly crowned champion with additional 3 aggregate points. Additional 2 points for Zeta as a second placer, and the third placer is T-Mac Avatari with additional 1 point on its aggregate score. So the aggregate scoring update are as follows. Zeta still in the lead with 9 points. T-Mac Avatari and Cosmo Atomica tied at second with 6 points apiece. And si Unicosmos ang number 4 pa rin, still remaining at number 4 with 4 points. Number 5 na ngayon si Ferreira with 3 points. And then Avatari and Archera Myrtle still has 1 point apiece. And ang di na lang nakakascore ngayon si Papa Roach at Stargate. Alright, so that wraps up our Run and Gun Wednesday edition here tonight on DCL SMC Season 2 this September 10, 2025. Hopefully na-enjoy nyo po yung ating yung live streaming dito ngayong Miyerkules dito sa aming tahanan sa Barangay Anona sa lungsod ng Ordaneta rito sa lalawigan ng Pangasinan, Republika ng Pilipinas. Once again, Don Patrick D. Paraguilar here, your host slash racer slash marshal slash producer slash director, all in one package for now signing up. And once again, thanking you so much to all who watched and whoever will watch anytime on our live stream every Monday and Wednesday on a regular basis here on DTL SMC Season 2 live streaming on DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube. So please like, follow, share, and subscribe. As I remind everybody that to please like, follow, share, and subscribe to those social media platforms. On YouTube, that's DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar. On Facebook, An Evening with DPAT Aguilar, DPAT Tamiya and DPAT Aguilar. And on TikTok, it's at DPAT Tamiya. Alright. So once again, I remind everyone to stay safe and healthy, avoid negative vices, especially drugs and all other negativities around you, and protect yourselves from all those negativities at all times and at all costs as well. Once again, I'm leaving you a pleasant run and gun Wednesday evening to all of you, and as always, to God be all the glory and honor. God bless all of us. God bless our beloved Maharlika nation, and God bless the entire world and all of us Filipinos across the globe. And like I always remind each and every true Filipino across the globe, love the Philippines, mahalin po natin ang Pilipinas at sama-sama po tayong bumangon muli at ipakita at ipagmalaki po natin sa buong mundo. We have to stand proud and say, we are all true Filipinos, tayo ay Pilipino. Isigaw ng malakas ang ating panalo. We have to shout it out to the world, our victory, taos puso, with all our hearts, and taas na holding our heads high, kahit kanino, at sa mga manlulupig, hindi pasisiin, lakad matatag, anumang dilubyo ang dumaan. So once again, this has been another presentation of another Run and Gun Wednesday edition here tonight of DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. Once again, Don Patrick D. Paraguilar here saying, Shukran to Sentak.